Hey, this is an exciting day for Butte-Silver Bow and for the kids in the community of Butte. The day that we get to say that we're back under construction to put a pool in Stodden Park for our kids, for our community, and for the surrounding areas. It's just an exciting time. I want to thank the community first for when we put a bond issue out and going out and voting overwhelmingly to pass the bond issue. And that wouldn't have happened without our community partners that, and first I want to thank Town Pump, who came and challenged us and said, we'll donate $500,000 if you can go out and match some of this money publicly and privately. And so we went out to the businesses in Butte and private donors in Butte, and they came out in force. And on the board here, it lists all of our donors. And there's anonymous donors, and there's others that we don't get a list in here because they didn't want to be publicly acknowledged, but because of these donors, we were able to raise $1.5 million and only put a $7.2 million bond issue out to the public. When we were looking at just building the same old pool, it would have been $6 million or a $3 less a year bill to the community. Instead, we're going to build this beautiful water park here because the citizens of Butte, the public, the donors that stepped forward and donated to this, we were able to move this project forward. And what an exciting day to turn a blade of dirt and get this project started. So this usually happens here. So there's a lot of people that I need to thank as well. We had a pool design committee that we put together that worked with SMA to create the design that you see going forward. So I got to thank Pete Gotland from the Carousel and well-known architect here in Butte, Phil Bora from the YMCA, and also a Parks and Rec board member, Karen Burns from Butte-Silver Bow, John Cecil from Butte-Silver Bow, Dave Schultz from Butte-Silver Bow, Todd Hart from Butte-Silver Bow, Larry Hoffman from the Carousel, myself, J.R. Richardson from Friends of Stodden Park, and Jim Murphy from Friends of Stodden Park. All of those people were ones that took time out to help with the design. The next group that I have to thank, we hired SMA as our architect for this pool. And I can't tell you how smoothly this project has gone along, and everything, every deadline, everything that they said that they were going to do for us, they have done in spades. And so with their driving force, their vision, we were able to get this project going and on time. And when we turn around here a year from now, we're going to be looking at getting a facility prepared to open up on Memorial Day. So I want to thank SMA, the pool committee, the pool design committee. I also need to thank our Parks and Rec board, Chuck Merrifield, our chairman, Kathy Tuddy, our vice chair, Philip Borup, Zach Sexton, and Buddy Walker, who also were driving forces to make sure that we put a pool in front of the commissioners. And then I need to thank our commissioners for having the forethought and the courage to say, yeah, let's put a bond out to the public and let's go forward. We need this for our community. So I need to thank them as well. One of the big things that we did right off the bat, we got a group of young people and some middle-aged people together and some people that were part of the pool committee before, and sat down and said, how are we going to get this thing off the ground and get it passed? And so I need to thank the Friends of Stodden Park and the driving force, and I've got to give credit to Fran Dorn a little bit. She pushed this the first time around. We were unsuccessful, but it was her understanding of what we needed to do, and then bringing in some young faces and some older faces and getting together and really having a vision of what we needed to do with this new pool. So I want to thank the Friends of Stodden Park. Jim Murphy, who is a gentleman that drives over for all of our meetings from Helena. He owns property in Butte, but he lives in Helena. He became part of our Friends of Stodden Park. He works for the Department of Health and Human Services, and he's given us a lot of information that was really helpful. So I can't thank him enough for the time and effort he put in as well. And then now as we go forward, I'm so happy that as we put the contract out to bid, and we are able to have a local contractor come in and really show their their ability to come in and do the work that we needed to have done, and under the budget that we need, under our process of the bid. And Markovich Construction won the bid, and you know, we had a lot of great bidders, don't get me wrong, and I was so happy to see that we've got a lot of local contractors coming in and helping us out. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm so proud to be a part of this project. I'm so proud that I got to see this through, and I get to see kids once again getting to splash around, jump into a pool, and having something that Butte can be really proud of. So with that, I'm going to turn it over and let our Chief Executive, Dave Palmer, give you a few words of wisdom. I also need to thank Dave Palmer too, because his support, first as a commissioner and now as a Chief Executive, he's been unbelievable in his support on this, and former Chief Executive Matt Vincent also helped out in so many ways as well. So thank you everyone, and I'll turn it over to Dave.
Well, thank you for coming today, and I just want to thank JP because he took away my whole speech. He thanks everybody that's here and everybody that's not here. So that's the good thing about having a good staff. They do all the work for you, so that makes it a lot easier. And but on this pool, I think it's the best thing that's going to happen to Butte this year. You know, it just goes to, it really pushes economic development because it leads to quality of life. And when you're trying to recruit people to come to your city like Butte, this is what they look for. What do we have here to offer for the families, not just the person that's going to come here and work and start a business. But it's, what are the kids going to do all day long? They're going to be spending their entire summer right here at Stodden Park, swimming in this pool, playing golf, playing tennis, playing softball. They don't have to go anywhere, so it creates a good, safe environment. Once again, I'd like to thank especially the voters at Butte-Silver Bow for passing this bond issue. You know, we tried it before a few years ago, and it didn't quite go so well, but this time we did it right, and thanks to a great staff and a great group of people, it went extremely well. And then the other one I would like to thank right now is Bill Markovich and his team. You know, they really put the pencil to it, and when you open bids up at the council, you have your fingers crossed, hoping they come in under the bid estimate, and this one certainly did. So I can't wait till when the water's in the pool here and you see the kids down here spending their entire summer down here. So thank you again, and thanks for coming out, and thanks for voting yes on this pool issue. Thank you.
All right, we're going to have one more speaker just come up and talk a little bit. And as I kind of alluded to a little bit, we brought SMA out of Helena on board as our architect for the pool. But one thing people don't realize is SMA, although based out of Helena, is filled with Butte people. And so I'm going to bring up Jason Davis. Jason was born and raised in Butte, swam in the old pool, and so I'd like to bring him forward, and we are so pleased that we have them as our architect for the pool.
JP stole my thunder too. I was going to talk about growing up here and swimming here. But, in all seriousness, we as a firm were incredibly excited and honored to have this opportunity because I grew up just a couple blocks from here on Utah Street. My sister, who's back here, and I spent a ton of time over here. So to be able to come back to Butte and give back a little bit to the community, now I've got nieces and nephews that have been asking me, when is the pool going to be done? So finally we can say in 1 year they'll be able to swim here as well, and so that's very exciting for us. And I know we've thanked everybody, but we've certainly got to thank JP for his vision and his leadership throughout this process. It's been incredible to work with him. And then Pete Gottlin over here. If you don't know Pete is a longtime Butte architect. So for a kid like me growing up in Butte, wanting to become an architect, and then having to work under someone like Pete watching over you, it was a thrill, but it also scared the hell out of me. Right, Pete? He was great to work with, though, and it was an honor to get to do a project with you, Pete. So we're excited to work with Markovich now to realize this, and certainly thank everybody here for voting for the bond. To me, that's really, this is the spirit of the can-do attitude. And that's what I'm proud of the most, being a Butte boy. So we have enough shovels. If everybody takes 1 yard of dirt out of here, we'll help out today. So, thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to grab the shovels. I just want to tell you who our ceremonial shovel diggers here are. So we have George Parrott with the Carousel. He's the president of the Carousel board. We have J.R. Richardson, who is representing the Friends of Stodden Park. Kathy Tuddy, who is representing the Parks and Rec board. Dave Schultz, our leader in public works. Dave Palmer, our chief executive. Myself, Jason Davis with SMA, and Corey Markovich with Markovich Construction. So with that, we're going to get this project underway.
You're missing the company.
Oh, we doing it right now?
Yeah.
Over here telling jokes.
One more?
I got the hard spot. One more?
Okay.
Some more? Keep going.
Yeah, I like Jason's idea. Everybody keep digging.
Get a yard. Is that what you're saying? Hey, I saw the cat. You don't need that to do it. Come on, Jason.
Get the whole crowd in there.
Put it in your...
Oh.